Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's Canadian Retro. I've got another pickups video for you here. Some pretty interesting stuff, I think, all around. I mean, I've got some garage sale stuff here, a few things I found in the thrift shops. And I mean, that's, basically where I got most of this. I did get one item off of eBay I'll show you right now, which I think in my last pickup video, I had a Xbox version of this, but I also picked up the HDMI cable, which is essentially the same thing, but this one's for the Sega Dreamcast. So I've already got this plugged into my system. I was checking it out. It works pretty good. I mean, I don't think it upscales it at all, but it still does a pretty good job. So, and it gets you hooked up into your modern TV quite easily, a lot easier than a lot of other things. So that's pretty cool right there. Let me get into it. I can't even remember how long ago I picked this up. This had been sitting for quite some time. I just had not been finding a whole lot out there. But I did find this, and I got a really good deal on it, although I have to get some of the tape off of it. I got this Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild puzzle. Now, I don't know if it's all in there. I'm going to have to double check. I might have to actually put this together just to find out if it's all in there, because it is used. But I paid $3 for that, so I thought that was a pretty good deal all around. Moving on, I also picked this up. This was just the other day. It's a Beat Mania for PS1 or 2. I can't even recall off the top of my head. I believe it's for PS1. I'm not totally certain. It might work for both, actually. You got like your little DJ pad there and like the different buttons or whatever. And this is going to be for resale. I'm not going to use this, but somebody might be interested in that. If you want this, let me know, because I know it goes for a pretty decent deal, but I'll give you a deal on it, and definitely, if someone can get some use out of it, that's great. If not, I'm going to end up reselling that on eBay because I can get a little bit of coin for that. Oh, and for that one there, I paid $7.99. So I thought that was a pretty good deal all around, that's for sure. Moving on, I did go to a garage sale, and this was really unfortunate because this guy had some Super Nintendo games, and just as I was walking up the driveway, I saw him take like a whole whack of them into the house. So I'm pretty sure I know maybe what titles were there, because I did get some manuals. There was a bin, and it had like a Wii system and all this kind of stuff in it, and he basically had taken like all the games like back into the house, and I saw him walk into it. So I asked him, and at first he said he didn't have anything, and then he said, well, to be honest, I just took some in because I'm gonna play them, and so if someone's gonna play them, what am I gonna do about it, right? But anyway, I picked out a few games that were sitting in that he didn't like take in or anything like that. So I picked up a copy of Wii Sports, which I'm just gonna end up using to flip. But that's a really fun game, and the packing game from back in the day. And then Wii Sports Resort was also in there, and that one's complete, so that's kind of nice as well, and in excellent condition. So and then Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games, so pretty cool right there. I can't totally say if I have this one or not. I'm trying to remember if I do or not. I don't have to double check, but it looks pretty interesting. Like, has like hockey mode and stuff like that, and so I might hold on to that because that might be a little bit of fun. I'm not sure if you've ever played it. Let me know what you think of that. And then he had a bunch of manuals. So this was like, he took the games in, but he left all the manuals for everything. So I grabbed these two, and one's for the SNES controller, one's for the actual instruction manual for the system. So that's kind of cool. And then there was Miss Pac-Man. And I'm assuming these are the games that he took in. Space Invaders. This one I'm pretty pumped about. Tetris and Dr. Mario, because I do have this one, but I don't have the manual for it. Now I do, obviously. Donkey Kong Country, so that's pretty cool. And then NHL 98. So that was the haul of that. The one Super Nintendo that game that he did not take into the house was this one, and I didn't have it in the collection, so it's kind of nice. And that's NHL 98, not like the most rarest thing on the planet, but for a hockey game on Super Nintendo, it's decently valued, so I got a pretty good deal. And so basically for all of that little stack right there, I paid $10. So I thought that was a pretty good deal for all those manuals, despite missing out on like exactly what I was looking for. And then basically that day, I didn't end up getting very much else except for one other item, which I'll show you right now. So the other item, this was actually the first item of that day when I was driving around. A guy was having a garage sale. There really wasn't a whole lot there that I was interested in, but he did have one item that was just kind of sitting there, which was totally random. And I asked him if he had any games, if he had any system. He didn't even know what it was. So I don't know, if he had kids that had this, and they weren't around or something, but I picked this up anyways, and it was a Wii U gamepad, which I bought for $10, which I thought was a pretty killer deal. And this is, I've tested this out, my son was playing with this yesterday, so was I, and it works perfectly great. So $10 for a Wii U gamepad, I thought that was a pretty solid deal when I was garage sailing. Speaking of solid deals, found this at a Value Village. Yeah, Value Village. And I thought it was a good deal again. Another game collector was in there, and he scooped up like a whole bunch of Super Nintendo games, a Super Nintendo, a whole bunch of other stuff, but somehow he missed this. So I grabbed it, and it has a copy of Tetris in it. So I got this for $10 with a copy of Tetris. Thought it was a pretty good deal, and it's in pretty decent shape all around. I mean, I do have to clean it up, obviously, but I think all around it's, you know, going to be a pretty nice system right there. And that one there has a little bit of yellowing on the front door here, but we'll see if I can deal with that. But $10 for NES, I'll take that all day long, that's for sure. And I was at a Talese, and there was another video game collector, and he was digging through a pile of games. And just, you know, out of the kindness of his own heart, he said, well, I picked this up the other day, so if you want it, you can have it. And that's Metal Slug 3 on the original Xbox. And I'm trying to remember if this was the Metal Slug that Discard and I were playing at Too Many Games. It might have been Metal Slug 3. I'm not totally certain about that. I would have to double check. But that being said, really good find right there. And I wanted to, you know, thank Nathan for hooking me up with that. But basically, it is a Blockbuster copy, so I'm gonna have to. Luckily, it doesn't have like the security ring type of thing. It just has a little bit of Sharpie on there. It's missing the manual and everything, but for $5, I couldn't turn that down, and I don't believe I have that in my collection. So really sweet, right there to get this for $5. I think that's everything for this time around. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I'll see you all later.